I purchased this shirt recently. I'm going out to a nice restaurant soon, and as you can see, it could do with a really good iron, so I'm going to show you in this video how to iron a shirt. I must admit, I do love going out with a freshly ironed shirt. The only thing I need, apart from the iron, is a spray bottle of water, or if not, if your iron has got it, then you might be able to use the spray built into the iron. So just go and fill that up, then we're ready to go. Obviously, as I'm going to be ironing my shirt, I've had to go and take my shirt off, stick a separate t-shirt on, because the last thing I want to do is to subject you to watching me iron topless. Anyway, first thing you need to do is to check the ironing instructions. If you have a look in the washing label and the ironing label in your shirt, then it will give you instructions on the temperature to set on your iron. It is important to get the right heat setting for your iron, because you could either have it too hot or too cold, so you could either damage the fabric or it might not be as effective when it comes to ironing the shirt. You'll always find it's a little bit easier to iron the shirt when it's slightly damp. If not, if it's completely dry like this, then that's where the spray bottle of water or even the spray within your iron can really help. So first of all, we want to iron the collar, and I'm just going to give it a quick spray just to dampen it a little bit, and all you need to do is just to run it across it like that. I do find it's easier to go side to side, so there we are. So you can go all the way across if you want to, but personally I just find there's less chance of getting creases if you just go into the middle and then just turn the shirt over and repeat that. This time I will do the same. So just going into the middle. There we are, looking really good. Then next we're going to iron the cuffs. And what you want to do is just make sure the buttons are both undone. And we're just going to go all the way on the inside first. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult. So the cuffs on this shirt are quite thin. There we go. And then once we've done that, then do the outside of the cuff. What you want to make sure is you're not going to iron over the buttons. There we go. Now I want to iron the front of the shirt. So let's just pop it on the ironing board. Just try and smooth it out as much as you can. And for this bit, we're going to work around the buttons to start with. Again, don't go over the buttons. Just work in and out, just taking your time. There's no rush to this process if you want a really crisp iron shirt. And all we're going to do is just going to repeat it on the other side as well. Now as I go on to the other side, again just try and smooth it out as much as possible. Now obviously we've not got the buttons on this side, so I'm just going to iron over the other side of the front of the shirt. Make sure we're getting rid of all the creases. So just before I've ironed this, I have just given it a quick spray of water just to make sure it's slightly damp. What we want to do is to make sure that's ironed as well. So that's worth taking time over to make sure that's nice and crease free, because obviously that's the main part of the front of the shirt that really stands out. Now what we want to do is to do the back of the shirt. So if we just spread that out. Now what we want to do is let's just give it a quick spray, because we're going to be doing the top part first. So let's just spread that out. There we are, so it's just slightly damp. Now I'm learning something new every day when I make my YouTube videos. This is the first part of the shirt to iron. This is called the yoke. There we are. And then once we've done the yoke, then all we need to do is the rest of the back of the shirt. So you just work your way down slowly, making sure that obviously it's flat as possible, because there's nothing worse than having the back of the shirt creased. So you just want to be careful of that centre part as well. And then once we've done that side, then just move the shirt round. Just make sure that's flat and iron the back of it as well. This is looking so much better. Now we've done the back, now we need to work on the sleeves. Now this can be a little bit more tricky. because obviously everything that we've ironed so far has been a single layer of fabric, but what we're going to be doing now is a double layer of fabric. So unless you've got a sleeve board, then what we're going to be doing is to iron it all in one go. So what you need to do is to make sure the sleeve is as flat as possible before you apply the iron. And what you want to do is work from the top of the sleeve going down to the cuff. Now this is something that is really important to do. So if you work your way down, and again once you get to the bottom, then you don't want to go over the buttons. So that's looking a whole lot better. And then once you've done that side, then just put the shirt over the ironing board and repeat the process. So try and get the sleeve as flat as possible before you apply the iron. And whoa, that's looking so much better. There we go. And then just repeat that on the other sleeve. Once you're finished in the iron process, I'd recommend popping it on a hanger just to inspect it quickly. What you might find is that there might be certain areas of the shirt you might need to re-iron a little bit, because as you're moving the shirt around on the ironing board, it might get a little bit creased again. There we go. I'm really pleased with how the shirt looks now. There we are. I think the shirt looks a whole lot better after having a good iron. Now there are a couple of tips I've got as well. If you're wearing a jacket to go out with, then you don't need to iron your whole shirt if you don't want to. If you're in a hurry, you could just iron the front part and the cuffs and the collar. You could also find, if you're in a real hurry, then you could find if you've got a shirt that needs a bit of an iron, you can also just throw it in a tumble dryer for a couple of minutes. That can really help get some of the creases out. But nevertheless, there's nothing like a freshly ironed shirt. Hope you found it useful how to iron a shirt, and I hope you've learned something today. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe, leave any comments below. I'm sure there are many different ways to iron a shirt. If you've got a different way to do it, or if you've got any other hints and tips, then let me know in the comments below. Thanks for joining me today.